Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. My name is James Williams Jr. And I am going to blog about my father. It has been 1 year since he has died. Well, it will be when we get later into the month. However, at this point in time, it's only the beginning, so it's not. The year hasn't really hit until the day that he has lost his life hits. I have had probably the worst struggle ever in 2015. And I mean literally, I have struggled and struggled and struggled with trying to accept the fact that my dad is no longer with me. I've never had the chance to honestly sit down and mourn him. And it sucks because of all the stuff I've been going through, and having that on top of that, it just hasn't really been the time. I haven't really had a lot of time to go visit my second father's grave, and he's been gone for damn near 3 years. And my second mother, whose family has her in a brown box just like my father. And it's not cool, but it is what it is. And there's not a whole lot that I can really do about it. But again, I want you all to know, for those who have their parents with them, love them and cherish them. And for parents who have their children with them, love them and cherish them. Because time is short, life is short. Time is not really short, but life is really short. And in the blink of an eye, it can be taken from you. By force or by course, one way or another, we're all leaving this world. Whether we want to or not is irrelevant because it's going to happen. We don't know when, and we're not supposed to know. Although I will say I strongly believe that some people actually do know when they're going to pass. And that's not just because they're going to commit seppuku or harikari or any of that stuff. It's just that sometimes if you go with your gut is generally right. And sometimes if you feel like your time's up, a lot of people can feel that their time's up. And if you can do that, then you need to do what you need to do and make preparations so that when you go, it'll be fine with everyone else, and they'll know and they'll be prepared. My father left this world completely unexpectedly. I hold all the blame to that because I couldn't come see him. My hip surgery prevented me from not driving because of the medicine that I was on. And if only he wouldn't have sold his van to fix my white car, which I couldn't take it to the shop because I couldn't drive, and he had my yellow car, and he died. He really meant the world to me. I don't get to give him any grandkids. He had 6 from my other 2 brothers. But, he didn't get one from me. And that burns me up because he was like the greatest dad. And everybody thinks their dad is the greatest dad. But my dad, he like my mom, took in like some stray dogs and has turned their lives around and everything. So, if you're listening, Miss Alex Parcell, my dad was particularly fond and hoping that you would get your shit together and be straight. And so I will try to find you on Facebook. But if you're listening, if you just happen to flash through here and see my ugly face, he gave a damn. And that's why he wasn't going to let you die on this bathroom floor. And we hope that you're doing well and that you're doing fine. When my dad passed away, I will say honestly that it is the worst day. It's in a tie, actually, with the worst day. The other one was, not going to get into detail on that, but you've watched enough videos to know about it. As I've moved on, hopefully this young lady that I'm talking with in the Philippines, hopefully it's going to work out in my favor. I need some adhesive remover or something to get this sticky stuff off my computer. I guess it's tape. Sorry. Off key or whatever. But anyway, you know, my dad never ceased to try to find the best in everybody. You know, I'm not that well, and I'm not that way. I've had a hard life, and I have learned that sometimes seeking the best in everybody is not a good idea. Because sometimes seeking the best in everybody actually brings out the worst in everybody. It's kind of like Christmas. When it should bring out the best in everybody, it brings out the worst in everybody because Christmas has become a Ponzi scheme holiday for children. You know, kind of like Valentine's Day has become a Ponzi scheme holiday for people who are lonely and in love, or lonely and want love. You know, let's face it, there's not too many things that aren't really Ponzi schemes. And the thing is, my dad taught me, you know, decent things. He said that sometimes decent things aren't always decent, and sometimes they are. And you have to try and look for the best in everybody. And I told my dad, I said, Dad, that's not me. Maybe a few years back in my 20s and 30s, yeah, I looked for the best in everybody. Now I just look for the humanity and hope that it's enough. And honestly, it's not. Because no one really is truly humane nowadays. No one really cares about other people's feelings. No one has empathy. Sometimes you have sympathy, but no one really has empathy. And no one really cares because no one's in that person's shoes. But when they get there, then they want empathy from you. I miss my dad. I miss my family in Richmond. I do need to give them a call. I miss my family in Smithfield. I do need to give them a call. Let them know I'm alive, per se. I haven't really been able to get out of this slump without my father. I do have his ashes. Going to get a real urn soon to get him out of this little black box. And I'm just trying to get through. Because the more I think about it, the more it hurts. The less I think about it, the more it hurts. There's no way to not think about it. There's no way to really get over it. It really isn't. And people are always saying, if you lose your father when you're older, it doesn't hurt as much. That's complete and total bullshit. No. I lost my father not too long after my 42nd birthday. And as much as I thought I would be prepared for it, no such thing. Excuse me. So, I'm thinking, I lost my grandmother. I was 36, 35, somewhere in there. His mother. And my mother's mother's still alive, so I'm glad I still have her. But losing a grandparent's a little bit different than losing an actual parent. Because you're a little bit, depending on your family dynamic, you're a little bit closer with your parent than you are with your grandparent, unless your grandparent's the one actually raising you, because your parent just wasn't ready to be a parent, but they didn't want you out of the family. So it's touch and go. Everybody's situation is different. No matter what, everybody's situation is always going to be different. There are rarely people who have the same situation over and over and over again. How do you weigh it? That's the problem. How do you weigh the difference? You kind of can't. I mean, you're there in the moment, and then the moment never seems to end. Because when my dad died, I had two dreams about him, only two. In the first dream, it was me and him, and I don't know what the hell we were, but it was me and him. And it wasn't really a long dream. It was like really quick. In the second dream, he didn't show up to the end, and I was at my ex-fiance's house, like her lake house or her parents' lake house. He was trying to tell me something, and I couldn't read his lips, and I couldn't hear him. So I'm like, okay. And I woke up because somebody woke me up while he was talking. I tried to go back to the dream, and I couldn't. And I'm going to explain that because I know this is going to sound really funky. And it's not something that I got from Inception because, believe it or not, I have not seen that movie because I'm not a big Leonardo DiCaprio fan. I love Ellen Page. I'm sorry, Leonardo. I don't hate you, but you're just not Not for me. I really just don't like his films. I've like maybe watched 3 of them, if that. You know, the Basketball Diaries, um, Romeo and Juliet. I think that was him with Claire Dames. I don't know. And This Boy's Life because I like Ellen Barkin. Other than that, I'm really not a big Leonardo DiCaprio fan, so and I wasn't really a Tobey Maguire fan until he did Spider-Man. But hey, it is what it is. I don't have nothing personal against him, but you're just not my dude. You know what I'm saying? I used to have the ability to dream walk. I'm sure you guys probably don't know what the fuck that means, and if you've seen Inception, then you probably do know what it means. In Native American culture, dream walkers can kind of go to sleep and dream and walk through the dream, and then they can go wake up and come back and pick right back up when they go back to sleep to where they were when they woke up. I used to be able to do that. At first, I couldn't understand it, and as I've gotten older, the ability has diminished. But there was times where and I guess maybe it's just certain dreams that I could probably still do it in. But in that one, I couldn't go back. I wanted to go back so bad. I tried so hard to go back and talk to my dad, and it just wasn't happening. So it's a Native American thing. Being part Native American, a lot of Native American cultures do have dream walking, and they're also another reason for that dream catcher thing. I will do a video blog on that as soon as I'm done with this, which will be in like 2 minutes. I love my father, and I really wanted to know what the hell he said. And that was like months ago that I had this dream. It wasn't because I was on pain pills. I stopped taking my pain pills as soon as my dad died. Now, I haven't been on my pain pills in like a year. I have no idea what I did with them. I may have flushed them down the toilet. I may have given them away. I have no fucking idea. And I'm in pain all the time. But I can't afford to take them because I like to be able to get up and go to fuck to work. Alright? So, in that, I get Motrin and stuff. It's not going to knock me out or make me, like, crash the car. I haven't dream walked in a year now. Now, like I said, I used to have the ability to do it, and now I don't. So I don't know what it is, and I don't really care. But, I will do a video blog about dream catchers and dream walking and all that. And yes, I do have a dream catcher somewhere. It's not in my room hanging up like traditional Native Americans and all that stuff. But I do have one somewhere. So, in the dream, whatever he was saying, I have no idea if it was important, if it wasn't important, if it was like trying to tell me, things are going to work out exactly the way you planned them, whatever. Yeah, that would be great, but, I'm not on the best of pages with God right now. But I do want to say this before I cancel out. My father got me. And I may have gone a little soft, but my father got me. He got me. So, in closing, I want to thank my father. I want to thank my brothers. I want to thank my entire family on both sides, because that makes it easier instead of trying to go through the names and specifics. It has not gotten any easier. If I make it another year without fucking committing suicide from the loss of my father, then that would be great. But, my father was like that strong thread that just won't snap. That was him. So thank you, Dad. I miss you. I know you'll never see this, but for everyone who does, if you have a father that was as great as mine, you better enjoy him while you got it. Laugh at his jokes even if they ain't funny. But my dad's jokes were pretty funny. And he was pretty damn blunt. Alright, love you guys. Kung Fu Havoc number 2. James Williams Jr. out.